Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Butumani. If you are new to this channel, please click on the subscribe button, and if you're a returning subscriber, hey friend, in this channel we do videos on personal finance, personal development, and a bit of living in a form of vlogs. And in today's episode we are going to speak about the things that you need to know about investing. We are still carrying on our series called investing. Okay, please note that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are seeking financial advice, speak to someone who's certified and registered with the FSCA. Okay, let's get into it. As an investor, you need to first invest in your education, okay, before your actual investment. Also take advantage of your periodic investing and tax advantaged ways. Know when to enter the market and when to leave, because the big secret is that investors make most of their money when the market is volatile. When everybody is panicking and they're throwing their toys out, they are looking for ways on how to get out of these investments. That is when the real investors come in and they take advantage of it. Because remember, what makes you a good investor is knowing when to enter the market and when to leave, and how to calculate your return. Also, what makes you a good investor is when you buy low and you sell high. That's giving you a lot of capital gains, a huge amount of capital gains, okay? And also the reality of investing is capital and knowledge. So as I said, we are going to get into the education side of knowledge, but of investing, which is getting knowledge and getting understanding of the field of investing, because that's what separates the real investor and just the investor. Because what makes you a real investor is being able to get into stocks, get into property, get into equity, and get into all these things by yourself without the actual help of a broker, okay? Because you find that you do your investments do well when they are being handled by a broker. But imagine if you gain all this education and you do everything yourself, okay? So the things that you need to know when you are getting into investing or becoming an investor is that you cannot time the investment market. The investment market does not work like your forex trading and your other trading platforms, okay? You are not trading on a daily basis. It is a long-term, over time thing that you need to get into. Like, for example, your initial investments are affected by government policies. They are affected by wars. They are affected by wars and conflicts. They are affected by disasters and extreme weather conditions, by technologies. A whole lot of things plays a role in a good investment, okay? So those are the things that you need to learn. Don't just invest today and expect to get your money tomorrow. Long-term investments, they drown out the noise of a short-term investment. So, like, for example, when I say this, I mean that, let's say you invested your 5,000 Rand in Iraq and then tomorrow there's a war that breaks out in Iraq. That value in your market is going to drop. So then what do? You have to wait longer. You cannot say, it's dropping, and be frantic and take out your money. You have to wait longer. So a good investor is one that invests long term, okay? And a good investor is one that does not time the market. And then as an investor, you will need to know that every asset class is different from the other. Like, your stocks cannot be the same to your equity. So what you are doing in your stocks, you cannot do in your equity. So you need to know the know-hows and the differences and the elements that makes up each asset class, okay? So learn the elements that make up each asset class and know when each asset class performs well. That makes you a good investor. And the benefit of being a long-term investor is compound interest, okay? So what is compound interest? compounding interest is gaining interest on your initial principal value, which is the money that you've put in, and also on the interest that you've gained over time on that investment. Okay, in order to get this effect, you have to invest long time. You have to stick it out. 10 to 15 years, 15 to 30 years, you have to stick it out. So investing does not need someone that is going to be investing their money that they need. You cannot, as an investor, you cannot invest money that you need. You cannot invest money that you are going to need in 6 months, or money that you're going to need in a year, because investments are high in risk. The market is volatile. Things can change overnight. So invest money that you do not need. Invest money that you can actually afford to lose. I heard myself. Invest money that you can afford to lose. Okay, all right. And then, as an investor, diversification is your best friend. Okay, I know that they say that as a real investor, or as an investor that has filtrated the investment market and they have learned, you now invest in long term, you now know the different markets, the different asset classes, that you do not need to diversify your investment. But as a beginner investor, diversification of your portfolio is your best friend, and it is the cornerstone of your investment. Remember that every asset class will do different in a different asset class. So make sure that when you are diversifying your portfolio, that you are diversifying it, you are spreading it across currencies, you are spreading it across geographical regions, industries, and sectors. Because, as I had said, every sector, every country, every geographical region is going to do different than the other. So this is going to minimize your risk of loss. Okay, it's going to make it a little bit less, and it is going to a good portfolio. Like, if you have diversified very well, then your portfolio becomes balanced. Okay, so you have a good portfolio on risk and return. So make sure that as a beginner you can diversify. But if you think that you understand the market, you think that you are doing well, then you can do as the gurus do: invest in one sector, invest in one currency, invest in one geographical region. Okay, but as a beginner, diversification is your best friend. Okay, and then when you are investing, please know that there will always be fees. And as an investor, what fees can you expect? You can expect your management costs, advice charges, and administration costs, fees. But how do you make sure that you cover you eradicate the risk that comes with these fees? Because trust me, these fees are going to impact the growth of your because these fees are going to have a significant impact on your portfolio growth. So make sure that you're shopping around for favorable fees. Okay, as a new investor, you need to know that, okay, a broker so and so is charging me R1 per transaction. Broker so and so is charging me 50 cents per transaction. So make sure that you take these fees into consideration, because they do play a significant role in the growth of your investment. An investor, you need to have a sound financial base. Let's not use good, a sound financial base. So this means that you have learned the basics. You have good money habits. And how do you develop good money habits? Is through the learning process and the mastering of the personal finance principles. Like, you know how to budget, you know how to save, you are not in debt, you're living below your means, you are not borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. So those are your basic financial principles that you need to know before you get into investing. As I said, that investments are long term. Okay, so, and to close this off, investing always has a risk. and we can say this is how you can compact the risk, this is how you can diversify, and just know that you can wake up tomorrow and your investment is wiped out and you just have to wait for it to pick up. Okay, so it could be in the red and running at a loss of 69%, but you need to know that there will always be risk when investing. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Please share, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.